Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Libra, our card is the 10 of Cups, which has everything to do with, I don't know how to say it. I think it's society. I don't know. I always say sadity, but my husband's like, that's not how you say it. And I can't remember. All right. So let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Basically, being full, satiated, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So that's the thing. I can never remember how to pronounce it correctly. I'll even look it up once in a while on, the Google machine to see how do you pronounce this. I don't know. It's one of those things I cannot keep my memory intact around this word. But yeah, so the 10 of Cups, very full. Feeling pretty good, right? Getting to that point though where it might start kind of flowing over, it might get to a point where it's so good that everything else seems kind of, meaningless or not as good. It's not as sweet because you have tasted the sweetest, right? And so let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say. All right. So, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So immediately I'm feeling that we had a parent. It feels like maybe mother, could have been grandmother, older sister, but a feminine energy, probably in a caretaker role in your life. And it feels like they had a very distinct lunar, kind of energy, right? Very emotional, kind of moody, definitely. A sense of at times really cutting themselves off, being like emotionally unavailable. And I don't think that this was something that was necessarily intentional, but I think this was kind of their coping mechanism. And kind of just when they started to get into that place, maybe it was depression, anxiety, just discontentment, anger, whatever it was, they would kind of like just shut themselves off, or close themselves off. I'm imagining in my head just kind of like the bedroom door being shut all the time. Like they come home from work, they go to their room, they shut the door. They come out, they make dinner, they kind of, do a little chit chat, and then they leave again, right? Back to their room or wherever. Maybe they leave and go out or, whatever it was. Now I don't think that the relationship was necessarily, like a toxic relationship or not necessarily even a feeling of a lot of conflict, but I think at times could be very cruel. And again, I think it was part of this inability to really connect on a deep level most of the time. And whatever, you know, happened in their life, I think that this is a learned behavior, but I also think it's something that they had to kind of develop to protect themselves as maybe a younger person. So I'm also seeing right here, we have, it looks like maybe this kind of mother figure. We have a child right here. We have them holding a fish. So I feel like they were good at kind of providing, right? They gave you almost everything you needed. And that, I think, is where there's sometimes this, almost like you feel guilty for complaining or having some kind of, emotional trauma around this dynamic. Because you maybe look at other people's lives, you know, the things that they've been through, and you think, well, mine was not that bad. I had everything I needed. I had a roof over my head. I, you know, had dinners to eat, and I had my parent or parents, and it wasn't that terrible. But the thing is, everything is relative, right? And emotional, like an emotional neglect or being unavailable emotionally as a parent absolutely can leave such a lasting effect. And so, you know, I think that this is kind of, you know, something that's really followed you over the years. As an adult, it is something that maybe you are coming into a period of time where you're trying to kind of maybe work out some of your own behaviors, your own issues, and going back to these kind of, you know, early things that went on in your life that may be kind of close to the root causes of some of the coping mechanisms or defense mechanisms, the drives that you have developed throughout your life and maybe are not of service to you any longer. And so, you know, you kind of begin this journey of really kind of excavating your own self mythologies. And this is not easy work. This is, you know, quite difficult. But I feel like, you know, it's no matter what you do in life. And I feel like, and we can see with the cups here, you've done pretty well, right? I think even better than you ever imagined for yourself. You've met your goals. You have a pretty stable life. Things are mostly consistent, but then you just have these moments of, it feels like, you know, melancholy, blue, feeling, you know, anxious and maybe, and this is a big one, a real big one here, a feeling of abandonment, of maybe even at times, and this is at the extreme side of it, feeling unlovable, right? Feeling like nobody could really accept you, you know, if you showed them who you really are. And so I think that you've kind of lived a life of service to others. And a lot of that, I think, is so you can focus on what other people are going through and trying to help them, where it takes a lot for you to ask for help for yourself, or to let somebody close enough that they can love you for, you know, who you are in your totality. I think that's been one of the great struggles. And so I wonder, you know, if maybe you're in a relationship, you're married, or you have children, maybe they're, you know, having their own children, but you're at a place where you're very keenly aware that I want to be able to push past this thing, you know, and it feels like if you could imagine, like a large black boulder, right? Just this kind of immovable thing, or at least you perceive it to be immovable, and it's in the way of you just really being able to get down in there and have these deeply kind of penetrating relationships, right? And I think that's all you yearn for at the end of the day, you know? And not only, by the way, with other human beings, but I do feel like this is also with the divine. You know, there's a sense of really struggling and figuring out, how do I get past this thing that's like really such a blockage, so that I am able to connect, to open myself up, to receive the love, to give the love, right? I don't think it's hard for you to love and give love, but I think it's hard for you to receive love and trust it, okay? Now, I also feel like right here we have a person, we have a child, we have another person over here who feels, again, there's this lunar quality, okay? And I feel like this one looks like a satyr, okay? So to me, I wonder if in your experience in life, there have been moments where you've had maybe some issues with addiction, habitual behavior, compulsive behavior, obsession, you know, things that maybe in the beginning they feel the sensation of them feels good. It feels like it transports you, right? Like something you can get in there and get lost in, you know, and you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. That's all kind of, you know, it doesn't matter. It fades into the background. But then you can get lost in it. You can spiral. You lose touch with the life that you were living, you know, especially with the obsessions, the fixations, the compulsions. And, you know, you emerge from these things in moments and you think, what the heck am I doing? What's going on here? I'm barely meeting my responsibilities. I'm just, you know, fully lost in this thing. Now, it could be anything, right? It could be shopping or love, or, you know, copulation, or the things surrounding that. Money, spending money, food, or substances, or, you know, whatever it is. These are all the biggies, right? These are all the ones that, you know, we usually talk about. But yeah, and it could be things. Something I read a lot about is, you know, people being into video gaming, or, well, even like the social medias, right? Just spending so much time on that thing, which, listen, maybe not video games. I've never really gotten into gaming like that, but I've had plenty of people around me. Obviously, we all know people who are probably, you know, super lost in their video game worlds, right? So it's not a foreign concept to me, but, yeah, social media is for sure. I've been there. So I think that what's going on here, and why we're talking so extensively about this, is that I feel like there's a part of yourself, and this is that inner child, right? Always looking for distraction, always looking for something to kind of dull that pain of feeling kind of rejected, emotionally abandoned. And I feel there's a sense of having to show up for yourself, having to kind of parent yourself, having to be that, the parent that you needed the parent that you wanted, that you desired to, you know, come home to and sit down and have dinner and talk about your day and you know, have these kind of really reasonable interactions, these you know, kind of clear and honest and open kind of bond exchange of energies, where maybe that didn't happen for you. You have to provide that for yourself, right? And this is the thing, is that so many of us, for one reason or another, we have to kind of re-raise ourselves. And sometimes we have to do that in such a way where it's not this kind of, you know, like it's some kind of analogy. I'm re-raising myself, you know, I'm raising my inner child. Sometimes we have to kind of really act it out. The way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we encourage ourselves, our radical self-love, acceptance, right? To be unconditionally there, present, and in love with ourselves, right? And that's not easy. This is not, it's like, you know, we think of like fad diets, like all of a sudden I'm just gonna, you know, get on this diet, I'm gonna lose a little weight and then I'll stop. And then, you know, what happens? We all know what happens when we do that, right? We gain the weight back usually. We go right back into our old way of being. Well, it's like making a change, a lasting change in our lifestyle. And so, getting in there and really doing some of the techniques. And a lot of it to me, that works, that feels very silly at the beginning, but it actually really does help a lot, is positive self-talk, being very aware of your internal dialogue. So like when you make a mistake, instead of really coming down on yourself and thinking, oh, I'm an idiot, why did I do this? I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. I always make mistakes. No. Stop talking to yourself like that. You wouldn't talk to your child like that. Or if you would, that needs to change as well, right? No. We don't talk like that to children. What we do is, you know, hopefully, right? What we do is help them figure it out. Help them realize, okay, we all make mistakes. You know, this was maybe a little inconvenient. Maybe this was a disaster. I may be a little irritated with you right now, but we're going to figure it out. It'll be all right. We'll get through this together. And not only that, let's look at the positives. You know, oh, okay, you drew all over the walls, you know, whatever. Well, you know what? Now I know you're a great artist. Now I know you're very creative. You're not afraid to explore mediums, right? And so we talk to ourselves in this way, and we make it a habit, right? And when we start to feel that kind of real critical, you know, whatever thing, you know, the really black and white thinking is what it comes down to. Then we actively get in there and we start, doing gratitude, doing positive affirmations, telling you're very smart, you're very clever, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you know, you do a great job. Well, you know what? Listen, this time maybe there was a little bit of a snafu. Maybe, you know, next time we try something else. Let's take note of what happened here and do something different next time, because I know you can. You're amazing. Okay? And yeah, that might feel weird. It might feel weird talking to yourself like that. It might be silly. But it will help reprogramming the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you are there for yourself emotionally. Not denying how you feel. This is a big thing, especially if you have gone through some emotional neglect or feeling abandoned, maybe, and that's the thing. It's not always that they actually left. Oftentimes it's just they did not show up for you. They were there, but were they really there, right? And when we have that, yes, it is when that happens and we feel those feelings of abandonment, we don't ignore. We do not ignore how we're feeling. Even when it's difficult, even when it's like, I know this isn't how I should feel, but I do feel this way. Now, do I indulge that feeling? Not always, right? Sometimes there are things, it just, and I'll be real open here. There's, and I've been really working on this one with myself. There's somebody that is another parent, right, at one of my daughter's things. And I do not like them. I don't like them. I don't know what it is. They've never given me a reason. Bad vibes. I don't know, and I shouldn't even say that I don't like them. But there's something about them. It just feels, it gives me ick, right? And I'm going to listen to those feelings, right? Because I know I have a good sense of people usually, of, just the energy in general. There's something there, right? But at the same time, I'm going to remain neutral until there's some reason. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to cause a big drama or anything. I'm just going to stay my distance. And there have been times in my life where I would have really ignored myself and said, you know what, maybe you're jealous, or maybe maybe you just are finding a reason not to like somebody, or, there's something about them that really, but it's whatever. I'm going to ignore that. And not only that, I'm going to go and try to be friendly. I'm going to force myself into it to kind of overcome this feeling. Or I'm just going to fully indulge in my my dislike of this person, and I'm going to be rude. You know what well, no, I'm trying to not go into those extremes, but I do hear myself. Okay. Valid. I feel that, these are valid feelings. I don't know exactly what it is. I haven't worked it out yet. Maybe I never will. But we have to be able to hear ourselves and not just be dismissive or shove it down or hide it or let it rule us, right? That's important. And so I feel you doing this kind of work. I feel you really being there for yourself. And this is at the core, right? And so this is a really important time for you, I think. Now, over here we have this lunar person, right? And I do feel that, this is maybe some of the work of your life. And maybe you're at times more lunar than you imagine, shifting between things, the ebb and flow. Now, Libra, you definitely have the ability, kind of not unlike a Gemini, to really be many things. You have a lot of different kind of facets of your personality, your persona. And you're very flexible in those things. And all of that has to do with being able to balance yourself out, okay? So I feel like when we look at this and we feel this like really, you're a very emotional person. And I feel like at times it feels almost like you have a guilt around it or shame. There's like a feeling of like, I don't want people to know how I feel. I don't want to cry in front of people. I don't want to get angry in front of people. I want to go off and do it by myself. But I think part of this healing process is just allowing yourself to be what you are and feel how you're feeling, you know, within reason, not where we're like lashing out at other people or whatever. But I feel like just being a human being in our great variety and range, this is very healing. Okay. And so I look at this and I think this is so much about, it's like you are on a mission to be your own superhero. And you are, right? You are going to save yourself from this kind of, it feels like a emotionally swampy place right now. And I feel like there's a sense of really rising and there being, you know, these very full cups, like you were filling yourself up. And let's go over here real quick. We have a person sitting and it looks like they're holding a bird. So I know that when you really come to this place of feeling quite whole, there's a holistic quality to you and to the environment around you, to your life in general. And when you get into this place, your abilities, psychic, clairvoyant, mediumship, channeling, whatever it is. I mean, there's so many different things. Maybe you divine or whatever. It becomes so powerful. Okay. And so ultimately, I think as you're doing this work, at the same time, you start to really begin to have these kind of psychic emanations. And it becomes part of the reason, the motivation to continue to heal yourself, right? Because I feel like it's like you're tapping into that source and finding this deeper and deeper yet meaning to your life. And so ultimately, even though this sounds like it's a lot and it's heavy and it's a difficult terrain, right? This ordeal is most necessary because it's opening the doors within you. Okay. You are, you are a mystic, and you're a mystic. You are a seer. You are somebody who has that thing, that I feel like most people, we all have it, but it is not very accessible to the majority. For you, quite potent. Okay. So when you get into these places where there's an active healing happening, you're very in touch. You're very in tune. Okay. So we also have, it looks like G-O, go. Okay. So we have the word go. We also have a large S. Okay. So S is, an important letter. We also have the 8, and we have the omega sign, so the end. There is an ending here, some kind of ending. Let's look over here. Let's see if we have. Now we have the dolphin. Immediately I see we have a dolphin. So this is a very psychic being. We have the number 11. It feels like something's ending. What is ending? Because it doesn't feel very sad. Like it feels sad in the sense that like it is a change, but I feel like this is a welcome thing. And it is. It's like a go. It is. It's like it's time to leave. It's time to go. This isn't working anymore, or this isn't the life that I wanted to have, or, you know, whatever it is. Now, we had a heart over here and it just fell off. So maybe it has to do with that. Now, we also have the number 6. So we have a few numbers going on here. We had the 8, we have the 11, we have the 6. So maybe it is. Now, maybe this is that your parent is still around. This mother, this grandmother, sister, whoever it is, this person that we've been talking about. And I feel like it is. It's just a sense of maybe if they're still manifest, right, and still in your life. I feel like this is maybe a time where you're kind of, there's minimum contact. Maybe you're going no contact while you're doing this work, at least. But I feel like it's the universe telling you, yes, go, right? You need to go and take care of your stuff. Focus on you right now. Okay. I'm not gonna, if I pick this back up and start looking, I'll start to see different things. And this reading will be 5 hours long. So we're going to do these are my new cards I just got. They're the self-care affirmation cards, and these are from Purple Canyon. And I got like 3 decks of them, different ones. My husband, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot, he looked at them with me last night, and he took my other deck. It was the empowerment deck. So if you want to see those ones, go over to his channel over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. He'll be using those. But these are beautiful cards, have great messages. The artwork's pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead and just flip through and check them out, see where this leads us. And it says, season of rest. I observe my body's rhythms and rest when it's time. I sleep in peace and I give myself permission to rest. I welcome the winter season of rest. Literally last night, I was talking to my husband and I was like, we live in the northern Midwest where it's very cold during the winter. It's like the tundra up here. And most years there's a good amount of snow, some years not so much. Just last year we barely had any snow. But I looked at him and I said, I cannot wait for deep winter. I cannot wait for everything to just be absolutely barren and cold and snowy, and we're just in the house resting and cuddled up and working on our little projects, and you know what I mean? And this is the vibe. I cannot wait. I love summer, of course, but yes, I look forward to that restful winter. Absolutely. So, Libra, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. And I hope that you know that. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. And if you're new to the channel, absolutely shout it out in the comments section. I read all of the comments and I look forward to them every single day. I do. So I appreciate those of you that definitely share your energies with all of us. And so anyways, I'm going to tell you again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.